What do our friends from Antibes show their friends when they visit? Here's their top 10.
You'll get to see sights you shouldn't miss, like this monumental sculpture, views of the city from high above, and 2 of the most beautiful beaches. And we'll take you to 2 of the most fancy hotels. Don't worry, they're accessible to all. Before we jump right in with our suggestions, a quick word about Antibes. It's a pretty town, much smaller than Nice, but still one of the 3 most important cities on the Riviera, with a cute little old town famous for its ramparts and the snowy mountains in the background until May, a party strip called Juan-les-Pins, and its well-known cape jutting into the sea.
Here's our first tip.
For a great view and some cool photos, we suggest you start your visit right here where Anya was sitting, above the sea, next to the harbor, and with the old town in front of you. At the far end of this part of the protective wall, you'll find the Nomade, a giant sculpture made of letters overlooking the sea. The big guy makes for great pictures, while the largest marina in the Mediterranean hides in his back. From over here, you can get the best glimpse of the anchoring super yachts at the so-called Quai des Milliardaires. Behind the yachts, you'll see Phare, from which, by the way, you'll also have a great view of the town of Antibes.
And now our second tip.
Since we've already discovered a small part of Antibes' impressive fortification walls, let's see some more of them. The parts next to the harbor are wide and paved to walk on and get a nice view, while also giving access to the old town. The ramparts that protect the old town from the sea have just been repaved and offer places to rest for a minute, and even a little park. Since the reopening after the renovations, the street is now open for pedestrians only, at least from 1:30 p.m. to midnight every day.
Here's our third tip.
As usual, you can find the exact locations and lots more in the description below the film. If you're looking for a great view of Antibes from afar, let's take a little walk up to the Lighthouse. From the old town, you walk along the sea towards the Cape of Antibes. And when you reach the little harbor called Port de la Salise, you'll find the old path leading upwards just opposite. From here, it's a 15-minute climb to the lighthouse and the neighboring chapel. And then you're rewarded with this view of the whole town, which is hugged by the sea. Take some time to enjoy, or get a refreshing drink in the cafe next to the chapel. You can also climb the lighthouse for the perfect lookout. This summer, for the first time in years, it's open to the public in the mornings and afternoons. Speaking of viewpoints, another nice way to see Antibes from high above is the Ferris wheel at the harbor, of course.
Here's our fourth tip.
Time for a sweet treat at Gelateria del Porto.
And there's not even a line today. This is the hotspot ice cream place in Antibes. Honestly, all our friends only ever go here. So have a look and come check it out. Here's our fifth tip.
Now to the first of the fancy places we mentioned earlier, Hotel Rives, a hotel with a lot of history. Back in the day, pretty much 100 years ago, this is where the young American author F. Scott Fitzgerald writes his masterpiece Tender is the Night and gets inspired for The Great Gatsby. He and his wife Zelda meet the likes of Hemingway and Picasso at this place then called Villa Saint-Louis. In 1929, the villa becomes a hotel and has kept its name Belle Rive ever since. But don't get too overwhelmed by the big names. Come in and have a coffee or a cocktail on the terrace or down by the sea. You don't have to stay in the hotel to enjoy its restaurant or bars. Of course, the prices are a little more expensive than elsewhere, but within reason. Some beds start at 120 euros a day if you don't stay at the hotel, but include a 75 euro voucher for the restaurant. Since water skiing was invented in this very bay, as we were told, it is still a popular pastime. Care for a ride?
Here's our 6th tip.
Antibes features many nice beaches. Let us show you two of everybody's favorites. There's Plage de la Gravette, right next to the old town of Antibes and its ramparts. It's kind of hidden behind the big walls, so you wouldn't find it if you didn't know about it. This small sandy beach is really cute, so be prepared for it to get crowded in the summer. It's great all year round because the walls provide shelter from the wind, and the water stays pretty calm thanks to the little bay's rocky protection. And the even smaller beach called Plage des Ondes is amazing thanks to its particular scenery. The small bay with this little round tower that you can climb, the view towards Cannes, its islands, and the Estoril Mountains way back there, and the pine trees that line the road behind you. But in fact, you can just go to any beach in Antibes and you won't be disappointed.
Here's our 7th tip.
Within the old town, there's a residential area called Quartier du Safranier. Forget the story that's behind it. More impressive are some of the beautiful alleys lined with flowers that are so typical for this region. Find Rue du Haut-Castellet and Rue du Bas-Castellet, take a stroll and many pictures.
Here's our 8th tip.
Okay, now you're gonna wanna dress up. After 20 years on the Côte d'Azur, this is the first time Anya and I ventured into the most famous hotel around, Hotel du Cap-Eden-Roc. Retreat for the very rich and the very beautiful. This is where Hollywood superstars stop by during the Cannes Film Festival. And this is where illustrious and wealthy people have stopped by for over 150 years. Artists, politicians, aristocrats. And they've picked an almost unreal oasis at the tip of Cap d'Antibes. Take in the huge park, boasting majestic umbrella pines, facing the Mediterranean, with a cream-white hotel right in the middle. Not to forget the pool that was carved into the rocks above the sea. Stunning, honestly. So grab your high heels and enjoy a sunset cocktail at Eden-Roc Lounge, open every summer night from 6 p.m. Don't look at the prices. The setting is worth every single euro. Cheers to the pleasures of luxury.
Here is our 9th tip.
The Picasso Museum in Antibes is a must for every art lover. In 1946, the ancient castle called Château Grimaldi became Picasso's studio for a while. 20 years later, the first museum dedicated to the artist was opened at this very place, which today houses almost 250 Picasso artworks.
And finally, our tip number 10.
Did you know about Antibes' beautiful coastal path? It takes you around the cape of the town with its fancy estates. But our walk is all about nature, a world apart from the built-up coastlines in Cannes, Nice or Monaco. Start at Plage de la Garoupe and follow the footpath along the sea. The walk of close to 5 kilometers takes about 2 hours. And even though it's right by the sea, it has a fairly sporty profile, so please wear sneakers instead of flip-flops. And now have fun discovering the white limestone cliffs and their deep coves that form a surprisingly wild landscape. Thanks for watching! Did you know we've put together several top 10 films for the French Riviera? Why don't you check out this one?
Nee, das war doof. Come on, es gibt auch noch eine andere Sache.